self-discipline and self-control is not about control. It's not about controlling yourself. It's not about putting so much effort, so much willpower into becoming this self-disciplined person, to struggling and trying your best, trying to study, trying to control your impulses and temptations. That is not what self-discipline is about. Self-discipline is about surrender. I know, right? Like you probably never heard this before, but self-discipline is about surrender. Surrender to your own systems, to your own decisions, to your own values, to your higher self, to God. Self-discipline is when you learn to surrender. When you learn how to surrender, you'll get this self-discipline thing. I've talked about the 3-step process in identity shifting, and one of the most important things is systems. When you set a goal, it's important to set systems, practical steps that you're going to take when you set the goals, right? But what do you do when you have these goals, these rules, these systems that you set for yourself? Say, for example, I say that I work out 3 times a week. I make the rules, I decide the rules, and then what do? I need to surrender to them. So every time, maybe I put a reminder like an alarm to go and work out, then I need to surrender to, even if I don't feel like it, I must surrender to the me who had my values at heart, who had my best intentions at heart, not the current me who doesn't feel like doing it. So that's how you practice self-discipline. You surrender to your own systems and your own goals and your higher self and your values. So it's very important to get crystal clear on them, because some people miss that part, getting crystal clear on them. And if you want to know more about this, I made some videos. Just look at my identity shifting videos, you'll learn more about that. So now, what is the 3-step process of building up your self-discipline? Number 1 is to decide. Decide. Like, there's a quote like, a person will become successful when they decide to. Decide. There's a certain energy of decision that changes people's lives. You've ever seen somebody who struggles, like maybe with their weight, or they struggle with their finances, and then something happens and they're like, this is the last time this will happen to me. I've decided from now on, I'm this way. So when you need to get self-disciplined in something, stop, right? Like, there's no try, there's only do. Stop like dilly-dallying. I think, I'm going to work out. I'm trying to, fix my relationships. I'm trying, but there's this and this happening. That's not the energy of decision. That is indecision. And a double-minded man will never get anything. So what you need to do is decide. Like, make a decision. I like to announce it. Sometimes I'm like, guys, this is what's going on. I announce it and I immediately take steps to affirm that decision, to make it even stronger and more powerful. The second thing I'll talk about today is deconstruct. If it's something big, chunk it down into palatable pieces. A lot of people get this wrong because they have a big project coming up, or they have a vague goal, like they want to, become rich. And it seems like such a big goal that they can't fathom it. Like, even their brain rejects it, their subconscious mind rejects it. So you need to break it down to actionable steps, actionable things that you can do. So instead of saying that, I want to get rich, say that I want to save 10% of my income every month and then increase it gradually. And I want to invest in this and that. Like, have practical steps, okay? And then, for example, if it's a big goal, like I want to pass this and this exam, say, okay, every day I'm going to study for this amount of hours in a day. And that's exactly what I did. I have a video for how I studied for 8 hours a day. It's because I had the big goal. It had to be broken down. And because I had such a short amount of time left, I had to put in more work, because I realized the hours that I needed to get to where I needed to do that major exam was 8 hours for that short amount of time that I had. So when I put it into action, I could do it because I had broken down the goal. The goal was passing the bar exam, and I had not been studying as seriously as I should have. So I had only 2 months to study. So I had to get really serious if I wanted to pass the bar in one go. And that's what I did. And I passed the bar in one go. So that's what you need to do. Chunk down your goal into palatable pieces. Then finally, dependability. You need to be able to depend on yourself, to trust yourself. And how do we do that? The small wins, okay? It's in the small disciplines. if you want to have like practice this discipline muscle, make sure you're disciplined in the small thing. If it's making your bed every day, that's how I started. That's how I started becoming a more disciplined person. I made my bed every day until it was just, it's so small. It takes less than a minute. And I made sure to do this. Those things that take less than a minute, don't skimp out on them, right? So my environment is clean because just the small things, picking up stuff after myself, washing the dishes as they're in the sink so that the sink is clean. Just the small things that you may be ignoring because you don't pay attention to them. Those are the things that build your discipline muscles. So make sure you're not ignoring the small disciplines, right? So let's go to the practical examples. Here I have somebody on Reddit who was asking, what helped you become more disciplined? I swear I want to work, but I just get distracted so easily. By this age, I should know better, but I always relied on my interest in things in order to learn and do the job. Due to the pandemic, I think my interest and passion for things have started to decline. I want to feel happy about the work that I'm doing. Say to others that work is going great and actually mean it. What turned you around? So this person is very interesting, and first things first, okay? I like that his story isn't so long, but there is a story there. There's a story. And we have to realize that we are always telling ourselves a story, and we want to play by our story. So you'll find here that he's like, I know I should know better, but due to the pandemic, my interest and passion for things have started to decline. That's a story you're telling yourself. So you better be aware of the stories you're telling yourself. So this person, what I would advise them to do is get clear on what you want. You could always be like, oh no, I want this, I want that, I'm not disciplined, I want to be more disciplined. Get specific. What do you want? Like, is it at work? Maybe you're not doing as well or being as productive as you want. So how can I be more productive at work? Reduce the inefficiencies, blah, 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 such things, right? And by our own 3-step process, decide. This person needs to decide what it is they want to do and how exactly they want to become disciplined. Knowing your why. You need to know why you're doing things, and your why doesn't need to be acceptable to other people, okay? As long as it's nothing illegal, nothing too bad. Your why is your own business. So if your reason is because Jane over there made fun of you when you were in 2nd grade, I don't care. As long as it gets you driven and gets you to do the thing, go with it. The second thing would be to deconstruct, like, what this whole self-discipline thing, like in what areas, what minor disciplines can you implement in your life right now that will give you that boost of esteem, that trust in yourself. Because I found whenever I'm on point with a small discipline, I trust myself with the bigger disciplines. When I say I'm going to do something and I do it, I start to trust myself more. So it becomes like my new identity. Gloria is now a self-disciplined person because I've proven to myself over and over again. So even when I have a big goal, I know that when I decide, that's it. Like, move out of my way, I'm going to do it, right? So yeah, that's just one of them. Let's read the other one. So this other question on Reddit is like, how do you stay disciplined consistently throughout your life? We all here know a little step is better than nothing. We all possibly have had this perfect week or even month where we have achieved all our daily goals, hit the gym, work, family, home, etc. My question is, okay, I have achieved it. Now what? How do I keep the discipline for 3 months straight? It always breaks down, and then starting again means starting small, as if you're starting from zero when you have just come out of a rut. To the people here who have achieved their daily goals every day for months, years, and their whole lives, how does that energy stay there and just not disappear after 1 month? Don't stop. Why would you stop? Like, you're not relying on on motivation, so just don't stop, okay? Next thing is, when you start a new habit, I always say start small and stay consistent. How do I stay consistent throughout the years in the same habits? Like stuff like making my bed, like reading books every morning. How do I make that, like, how do I not stop? Because it's part of my identity now. Start to associate these habits with a new identity. Have a bigger vision for what it is that you want. So for example, this person's like, oh, I stay consistent for 1 month and the next month I'm not doing it. It's because you're not incorporating this new habits as part of your identity. You're not making your bed so that you prove to like other people that, okay, I've made my bed for 1 month, now what? No, you make your bed because now you've become a person who's neat and makes their bed. Simple, right? So you make these things a part of your new identity and a part of the bigger picture. And another thing I always say, it starts small, not stay small. Good habits are the foundation for other good habits. So now that you make your bed, now that you clean your room, now that you have the small disciplines on point, you challenge yourself and go to the next stage. It's like stairs, right? You take the first step and the next step and the next step and the next step. We never stop growing. We never stop pushing ourselves. So for example, when I got my reading habit, when I started doing my reading habit, it was just 20 minutes when I first started. Now it's almost up to an hour, and I have moved on to not only reading, but writing out what I've learned from what I've read and incorporating it into my life practically. I give myself monthly challenges. With every book I read, I want to take like 1 or 2 or 3 points where I'm not embodied and start embodying them until it is part of who I am. So many people, I'll give you an example, have read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. That was in our book club, and we read it and nobody changed their behavior. They was like, oh, that's so cool. Or if they changed it, it was very little. Very few people are embodied. So I personally took the challenge to embody like the first 3 principles, where it's like complain, condemn, or do not criticize, condemn, or complain. 1. So I had to stop criticizing people. 2, talk in terms of other people's wants. So that for me meant like not being so self-absorbed and actually being interested in what other people were saying. And I think one of them was show honest and sincere appreciation, which is perfect because I'm all about gratitude. So for a month, I made sure that every single little thing somebody did for me, I was like, thank you, I appreciate it. And I really showed them. So it's not start small and stay small. It's good that you have a reading habit, but keep improving, keep honing in on working on yourself, reducing your weaknesses, enhancing your strengths, embodying what you've learned. Because in this age of information, the people who are going to stand out are the people who do and embody what they know. So if you're more interested in a practical way of doing inner work, a practical way of leveling up yourself and your life, check out my 100-day affirmation manifestation journal. It's 100 days of committing to the small disciplines. It's a tool to help you start now and be consistent. If you can be consistent for 100 days, I promise you your esteem will go up there, because you'll be like, I've done it. It's been 3 months and I've stayed consistent every day. Get out of my way. I'm ready to do anything. So I hope you enjoyed the video and have a beautiful week ahead. Stay disciplined. Bye.